Okay, now solve it like a bicube. Except we can't solve it like a bicube. This is a trap. Now why is this a trap? And this is what really got my goat for a while. This could be considered parity. This has to come here and this has to come here if I can just swap these two. But there is no bicube algorithm that's going to let me do that. If you remember, every algorithm we did on the bicube cycled an odd number of pieces. When you did the FRU algorithm, when it was held here, you swapped 5 pieces with each other. When you did the RURI, you swapped 3. So imagine we have this down to the very last one. You're going to have 2 in, or rather 2 out and 1 in. Well, there's no way to rotate it where they can all come in. So this is a dead end. This isn't going to work. What you have to do is you have to set the puzzle up to where your final step will turn this to where your final step will have 3 out, or some odd number out, not an even number out. So here's what needs to happen. The technique is going to be the same, but now I've got to make it to where this is on this level here in an area where it's allowed to be on that level. Not here because, you know, these all have to be standing up. If I had to correlate that, these are the same, and these are the same, and these are the same. But if I turn it here, these are the same, which means this and this can trade. If I move this into another place, which is still not where it's supposed to go, and move this out, I now have 3 that are out, and then I can solve it like a bicube. Now, I'd like to be able to tell you that I have a nifty algorithm to swap these two, but I don't. What you have to do is either, number 1, set it up to where this ends up here to begin with, or number 2, go ahead and deconstruct it where you're swapping these two over here. So what I'm actually going to do, sorry about this, what I'm actually going to do is do a partial deconstruction in order to make this happen. Because what I have to do is I can't just swap sides. It's not going to work. If I try to swap these, I'm going to put others out, and I'm always going to end up with even numbered that's out. Trust me, I've tried it, I know. What I need to do is I need to just disassemble and transport. I can't move it, but like in Star Trek, I literally have to take these atoms out, transport them to the other side, and reassemble them without affecting anything else. I don't have an algorithm to do that, so what needs to happen is this needs to be set up like that from moment 1. So in order to move this down to here, I have to take this middle and move it here, which is fine, and then I just have to deal with a corner and turn, and this will come over here. Now, it's important to know which end is supposed to be up and which end is not. It's important to know the orientation here, because I need to know which edge is supposed to be up. Is it going to be white, or is it going to be orange? Which is supposed to face up? Well, if I were to move this in conjunction with this over here so that it can move into position, this moving up to here where this green is over here, then this is the relative position that it's got to be in. Well, in order to get it to this state, to move it up to here, this would have to be here. So in other words, this green would have to be poking over here, which means this orange has to be facing up. So let me kind of go through that again. This has to come up to here, right? Well, for this to come up to here where this white is on top, then it's kind of like, where does this have to be over here to do that? Well, this has to come over here with the orange on top. So this can come here and then to come here. If I had it the opposite way around, if I had the white on top, then it's going to be in like this, and it's not going to fit. So I know that this orange has to be on top, and this orange has to be on top as well. So while I have these yellows that are in, I know that it's going to be an orange and not a green that's got to be on top. And this orange has to be in the middle as well. Okay, what about this? Well, this is going to have to slide in like that, which means this blue is going to be put in conjunction with this. So when I put in this center, this blue will be in conjunction with this blue. This yellow will be in conjunction with this red. So this will move down to here, and this orange will be on top, which means I'm going to have 2 corners with oranges, right? 1 edge with an orange. Let's go ahead and do this. Now, you're welcome to solve it like this to this stage and just follow the steps that I'm going to do. It might work pretty well that way, but I'm going to take this and move this down to here with that familiar algorithm. Okay, so this is where it needs to be. Once I've got that, now I've got to reflip these guys back in. And I know that it's going to be yellow, yellow. This white one has to be orange, and this is also going to be yellow. So I'm going to do the same techniques here. Move it here. This has to be rotated up, and this has to be rotated up. So I'm going to follow suit with the same technique. Move this to the side so that I have one that's to the right and the yellow one to the back, and just do that strategy. I don't even know if I want to call it an algorithm, but a strategy where I move this back over here, move this up here with a UI, and then move this back with an RI. Okay, once this is in here, then I just move this up, move this across, and move this down. So now this is up to be exchanged by this. Now I'm going to hold this here, and this will now be placed into here. So I'm going to do here, here, and here. The end result with that pattern is this won't change, and now I've put this into proper configuration. I've got, believe it or not, this is the cross with this as the yellow one. So now we're going to practice putting in the corners here. So once again, do we have one that's already up? Well, no, none of them are. Because really what I need is I need 2 oranges and 2 yellows. This one is going to be an orange that's up. Because if you can imagine, it can't be the yellow one up because this has to match here. The blue here, the yellow here, and the orange here. So this is not correct. This is not correct. So I have none of them that are correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and randomly do the algorithm. I mean, I could plan it out and say, well, which one will make it correct? Obviously not this conjunction because this won't come into here. This won't come into here. So if I were to move it over here, this will slide over here. So this at least will put this orange up. So that'll be okay. Okay, so at least this might be the only one that's up. So turn this up to a UI, to an FI, and go ahead and do the corner switching algorithm. Bring it back down. So as promised, this one is in, this one wasn't touched. So I'm going to either move this here or here so that it doesn't change. Let's kind of reason out what's going to happen here. This white one is going to move here, which means this orange one is going to be up, which is what I want. This is going to slide over here, which is not what I want. And this is going to slide up over here. So I'm going to have 2 in. That's what I want, which is pretty good. So move this up here. Turn, 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 and bang. Okay, so as promised, these 2 are in, these 2 are out. Now let's decide what's going to happen next. With the next algorithm, this will stay in, this will stay in. This will slide over here, and this will slide over here, so I know that these will still be out. So that's not going to help me too much. So let's see. I can either go ahead and do that and reconfigure things, or maybe put this in over here and see if I can't put another one in. So with this over here, this will slide over here. This orange one will be up, so that'll be in. This will slide over here, which means this yellow one will, this orange one will be up as well. So let's see what happens with this one. Boom, 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 bang, bang, zoom, zoom, pow. Now, I'm only having a vague idea of what's going to happen. It's not nearly as well planned out as I might be making it seem. It really isn't. So anyway, this is up. This isn't where it needs to be. This is where it needs to be because I know if there's a white, then this orange is where it needs to be. So I'm going to turn this over here and let's reason out what's going to happen. This will slide up here, but still in configuration. This will slide across, so this yellow will be up. We want this orange up. This yellow will come over here, and this yellow rather will come here. So this orange will be up. So this one should put us into the configuration that we want. Move this up. Bang, bang, zoom, zoom, pow, pow, splat, kerplunk, shebang. So that's what we wanted. Just to prove it to ourselves, you can see that this is in. You can see that this edge is already created, so we're good. Okay, so now we're just going to put these in the proper assembly. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to start off with my green and orange, which should be in here, so this is in. So we're good. Now what I want to do is I want to move the green and red one in, which is here. So I'm going to do the middle swaps, the corner swaps rather. Now yeah, you're going to be separating these out, but don't worry about these middles. That's dealt with completely self-sufficiently afterwards. You're not going to cause any unrest, any civil unrest. So we're going to go ahead and swap these 2 corners. 2R, U, 2R, UI, 2R, turn, turn, 2R, UI, 2R, U, 2R, turn it back. All right, so this is in. These 2 got swapped. Now what I'm going to want to do is slowly tease this one over to here. So I'm going to turn this here and swap, yeah, and swap these two. To our U, to our UI, to our turn, turn, to our U, to our UI, to our turn. Okay, so now I have but to swap this to here to put it in conjunction with this. So because this was over here, I had to do a dual swap. Swap these two, and now swap these two. Got it? I hope so. To our U, to our UI, to our turn, turn, to our UI, to our U, to our, bring it back, and we did it. So these are in, these are in. Okay, what about these two? Well, you can tell this is in, and you can tell this is in. All right, so kind of picture that. I know this corner is in because it's lined up with this. I know this corner is in because it's lined up with this center. What about the rest of the centers? Well, this center is in. We don't want that to change. We want these guys to start swapping. So I'm going to put this to the left side because all of my swapping is going to be from the front and to the right. Rather swap these two. This will come here, and this will come here. So at least I'll get the green where it's supposed to be. So this will come here, this will come here, and then these two will have to swap. So in other words, when I put this red here, it's going to end up back here. So don't be fooled by that. So we'll swap these two to put this green where it's supposed to be. To our U, to our U, to our, to U, to our, to U, to our U, to our, UI, to our. Okay, we're good over here. We created parity as we do with all middle swaps. So let's move this out of the way. What else needs to be swapped? Well, this middle is still in. These two need to be exchanged. Orange to orange, red to red. To R, to U, to R, to U, to R, to U. Okay, now let's take a look at what we did. We actually did it. Believe it or not, we flip-flopped these two. Just by using that strategy and just by using that algorithm. These two got flip-flopped. And this is the configuration that we want, because if we hold it like this is a good bicube formation. We have 3 that are out. And because of that, we have now collapsed this into a bicube. So let's solve it as such. Well, the first step was make sure this is in, which it is. This is in. Now I just have to get this in. I am 5 algorithmic sets away from a solution, 2 of which are the FRU, 2 in a row. The other one is going to be the RURI, and then we'll be done. So put this one in place. To put this one in place, I have to get the red and blue, which is over here. We need to put that over here because right now this is locked in when we hold it from this configuration. Then we're going to do our counterclockwise to move it from here to here. So we do one more algorithm to go from here to here. That's FRU, then FRI to FU. Okay, that did place that here, and don't worry, we have converted this into a bicube. So that put that over here. Just in case you didn't see the bicube tutorial, that algorithm takes this, puts this to here, this to here, this to here, this to here, and this to here. Locks this in and locks this in, so those didn't change. To bring this over here, I turn the puzzle counterclockwise, and I can do the same algorithms because this still acts as the, axis that I can rotate with. So now the next one will place this to here and lock it in. FRU, FRI to FUI. Turn it back, and there it is. This is already in, so by 2 uses of that algorithm, we put that. Okay, now the next step is we get this one in. So I'm looking for the red and green, which is over here. So what I have to do now is I have to rotate it from here to here to here, and that's going to be the RURI one, because as you recall, that's going to take this, move this to here. So as you recall, once I do that, I'm going to have the algorithm that's going to take it from here to here and back again, and this back to here. So we're going to rotate this around. RURI to U, to F rather, bang, zoom, pow, smash, blam. So that rotated over here once more. In case you didn't see the bicube tutorial, that's going to be RURI to F, L, F, LI, UI, F. Okay, that's the configuration that I want. This is going to need to move down to here now. So you know that this is right because you get this American flag formation over here. So what this is it's the same algorithm, the URF one, but you're going to do it backwards at one point, and you're going to be rotating this around. See the Bicube tutorial for the exact description on that as we traced out the course. But the first thing we're going to do is move it over here. You can see this American flag formation here, and we're going to do our FRU. Turn it here, here, and bang. Then turn it over here and do the opposite. So the direct opposite is going to be U to F, R, Fi, then UI, Ri, Fi. Rotate it clockwise again, keeping this to the left. And then we do one more FRU algorithm, FRU, Fri to Fu, and you did it. Your Bandaged 3 cube is solved. So again, the reason why I walked us into that trap was so that you can just kind of get the concept of what's going on. But you don't have to go into the trap and then kind of redo it again. It might be easier to visualize. You could actually plan it out on this side to just make sure that your blue and yellow is here and white is over. Okay, for those who found the organization of what I did a little confusing, my attempt was really just to illustrate the concepts of what I was talking about. But if what you're looking for is just a straightforward solve without getting too much into details, I'm going to go ahead and do that for you too, just to make sure that I've addressed everything that needs to be addressed. So first step, white side, put in all my bandaged areas at the proper configuration on the white side. So there it is with the blue. I want to make sure that it's going to be the white, green side that I'm going to be getting, so I might as well put that in now. And really I'm doing just a lot of batting out of the way. Where did I put it? It's over here. So that way I can move this out of the way, bring this up so that the greens match. I want to move this in, but I can't with all these bandages here. So I guess what I have to do is move this out of the way. But I got to get this out of the way here too. Move this down again. Bring this here. Move this down, bring this up. Okay, so that was just a lot of batting things out of the way. But I held to the organization pretty faithfully, so I should be able to get this back. Move this back in here. This blue has to be in conjunction with here. Can't move it down. It's being blocked by this guy. I can just easily move it out of the way, as long as I can move this out of the way. So it's pretty fun when you do it. It's not as hard as it seems. Hopefully not as hard as I'm making it seem. So now I got to move this red one out, but this is in the way, so we'll move this, bat this out of the way here, turn it down, move it twice here, and bring this up. So I just have to make sure we're in the proper configuration. So these are all okay. So now this white one needs to move up, put this with the red, and now this can move in like so. Finally, I want the other bandage side with the blue side on top, which is this. This has to move into here. So this has to be batted out of the way. Well, can't bat it out of the way while this is sitting here. So move this down, bring this up twice. Move this into configuration and move this here. So that's what I want. I'm going to put this edge in. This is going to be my new false side. This edge here comes up here. All right, so this is my new false side. Now I need to put in the middle here. All of my oranges are going to coincide with where they're supposed to be, so I'm going to put that in. The orange layer is always the one that's going to kind of guide me with things. So here's the green and orange. Basically, I'm going to be putting my one lone edge in the direction that it's going to have to go. This will flip down to here by the Rubik's Cube algorithms of edge swapping. I'll post that. Okay, now this is going to come down to here. So this green one is going to come down to here, so move this out over here. All right, piece of cake. So this is in, this is in. Now what I need to do is I need to put this yellow one in here too. Oh, have to make sure that this is in. I'm sorry, this orange one coming down to here. Okay, so we're good over here. Move this into configuration. This is what I want. And this is going to stay out over here. Now the one that's going to move into here, this is actually going to house the blue and orange side. So this is going to come down to here because I don't want to put this into position. So this entire thing is in, but what I want in over here is the blue, but it's going to be the yellow and blue, not the blue and red, because the blue and red is over here. So let's put this blue down here with the blue and yellow. All right, so this is here. Okay, so now we have the middle side. So now we work on the top side, getting our proper cross. Now with the cross, everything is going to be orange, yellow, except for this. This one is going to have to be orange. So this is right and this is right. So these two need to be flipped up. When you see this situation, put one to the right and one behind. And now just go ahead and do the algorithm R, U, RI. And then upon seeing that, do FI, U, F. Once you see that, now to put this back in, you're going to go R, U, RI. Okay, do that configuration and it will work 100% of the time. So we're good over here. All right, for those who need their algorithms. So these are all flipped in the proper position, including the orange, which is supposed to be over here. Now we have to flip these guys. So this is going to be in, so we're not going to worry about that. Now what has to be up? What's going to be orange? What's going to be yellow? Well, the one with the blue is going to have orange up. The one with the white is going to have orange up. So when you see blue and white, both of those have to have orange. The rest have to have yellow. So this is correct and this is correct. So what I'm going to do is move this. I'm going to keep this over here, or alternatively I could put this in here. It really doesn't matter. We're just trying to change conformations here. If I put this over here, this will end up rotated correct, so I kind of like that. This is going to slide over here, so this will be incorrect, and this will also be incorrect as well. So I'll have two things here that are going to be correct, and that's what you want to try to work out. Two things here that are going to be correct. Move this up to an FI, and then go ahead and do our algorithm that swaps corners. U, R, U, I, L, I, U, R, I, U, I, L. And then move this back to an F. These are in, and these are actually out. Believe it or not, because orange has to come up. Do it again. This will be maintained. This will just slide up over here. This will come over here, so the orange will be up. So in one more fell swoop, we're going to get it. So move this up. Same algorithm. And move it down, and as promised, these are all in. Now it's a question of corner swapping. Line up the green with the orange, which is right here. Now I want to put in the green and red, which could be here, could be here. In any case, we're going to be doing a swap, a corner swap. To R, U, to R, UI, to R, turn, turn, to R, UI, to R, U, to R, turn it back. So you can see these are in. How about these two? Well, actually these two are in. These two are fine. Otherwise, we'd have to do another corner swap where I'd move these here and swap these two. But we kind of like this because this is where this is supposed to be. Okay, now we do centers, middles rather. So I understand that I know that this is in because this is lined up over here. This white one is going to be this slab over here to convert it into a bicube, which is going to come over to here. Okay, so now where do your centers need to be? This is where it needs to be. That's fine. This green needs to come over here. This white needs to come over here. This red needs to come over here. So I'm going to swap these two with an adjacent middle swap to RU, to RU, to R, to U, to R, to U, to RU, to R, UI, to R. So this is good. Now I'm going to go ahead and swap these two with opposite middle swap. We created parity here, but no, we're about to take that out. 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, and we're good. We've now converted this into a bicube. Hold this in the proper bicube fashion, where this is over here with our white side here. These guys all need to be cycled around. So the next step is we have to put this one in. To put this one in, we have to put the red and blue one where it needs to be, which is here, red and blue. So we do that FRU algorithm, FRU, bang, zoom, Pow. So this is here. Do that FRU algorithm once more, but we have to turn it counterclockwise, and it'll get it in. FRU. And we're in. Now you can memorize all these steps too, because it's always going to be the same. The next step is we get this in, which means we have to get the green, the red and green one from here to here. So we just do the rotational algorithm, which is the RURI, pow slash plop. Almost there. Do it once more. Boy, this thing loves to turn. RURI and splat. So now this needs to come over to here. And to do that, we're going to move it over here. I know it's good. I've got the American flag formation. FRU, bang, zoom, pow. Move it over here and go ahead and do just the opposite. U to F, R, FI, UI, RI, FI. Come over here. And one last FRU, FRU, FRI to FU. And it's done, solved. So there you have it. Basically a pure solve without walking into a trap. You can see how quick it is, how easy it is. Once you get it back to the Bicube, it just falls right from there. So hopefully that clears it up. This was certainly a worthy puzzle to go through that just to make sure you guys all have it. So thanks for watching.